For the first time this season, the Warriors hold two consecutive opponents to fewer than 100 points. 92 for Miami, 93 for Orlando, and a back-to-back the Warriors had to win. All right, welcome to Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by Mancini Sleep World. She's Zena, Keita. I'm Kerith, Burke. We have so much to talk about on this show, and it actually does not start with Draymonds. We want to start with Steph.
Yes.
What did you think about his game, how he started it, and how he finished the game?
Steph is the ultimate leader. That's what I thought of his game. He is the person that's going to lead you with poise when you're feeling unsure or uncertain, and that's what this team felt when Draymond went out earlier this game. We're going to hold on to that for a little bit later.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
But when you look at Steph's performance, he started the first half only 2 of 9 from the floor. So he himself, he had the frustration from his own experience with his teammate and then frustration with his own performance. In the second half, he picks it up. He gets 11 points, 6 and 5 split up. But he particularly gets 10 rebounds. This is what Steph Curry does. He gets the things that he needs to get done for his team, regardless of what else is going on around him. He knows that with them being undersized and undermanned, that's what they're going to need. People crashing the glass, being able to get more opportunities for them. And I just really appreciated him being able to elevate his team from a perspective of joy as well. You saw him running down the court, smiling, going to the timeouts, high-fiving, making sure everyone's like, yeah, let's go, let's go. I know this doesn't feel good right now, but we're in a good position. We can still, and we are capable of winning this game, even though it's going to be tough. And so, ultimate leader overall in not only his performance on the court, but all the little things that he did off the court as well.
Roll the tape, would you? Because we need to see the ways that Steph was the emotional leader. Also had to be the facilitator in this game. 10 assists, so he's kind of slotted into that more traditional point guard role in this one. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the emotion's coming out. Here's his dagger 3, right? At the end of the fourth quarter. He knows that's the one that wins the game. Kicks a chair as well. Oh my God, I didn't even see him yell at the chair before. Okay. Yeah. Gave the eye contact full court, like length of the court, night-night to the crowd, and made sure to give props to Andrew Wiggins in this game as well. That was very important to celebrate Wiggins.
And thank you for correcting, 10 assists as opposed to 10 rebounds.
I knew what you meant.
10 assists, 4 rebounds, but then you saw him talk to Andrew Wiggins. Let's go. You're capable of this. This is what you're capable of. And this game is really a game for Andrew Wiggins as well, being able to step up. And I know we're going to talk about him in a little bit, but this is what Steph Curry does. He acts as that facilitator, not only on the court for being able to get everyone's buckets when he's not going off, but also facilitating that joy, that poise, that confidence in oneself to be able to get it done. This is one of the best wins, I think, that the Warriors have had this year. And the number one thing that stands out to me is their ability, even when it became a clutch game, right? Even when the Orlando Magic got to within 1 point in those last minutes, 94-93, they never relinquished the lead. And that's something that the Warriors do not do. And I really do credit Steph for being a leader in those moments.
Yeah, biggest lead in this game, 17. The Warriors saw it dwindle, but they hung on at the end with Steph Curry coming up big. And then, of course, Andrew Wiggins. But let's take a moment to celebrate Andrew Wiggins in this game, because he's had point totals lately in the last 5 that have been incredible. He's our BMW ultimate performer. We focus on the fourth quarter maybe a little bit, too. Okay, let's take a look at our last 5 games for Wiggins, averaging 17 points per game, shooting like a madman. Okay, Andrew Wiggins' 3-point shot is back as well.
That's crazy.
But you see him engaged on defense, too.
You see him doing everything for this team right now. He is what you would say metaphorically in his bag.
Okay.
Whatever he's trying to find, he is pulling it out, and he's become a Superman for this team. I mean, it's been so much fun. Look at this down the lane.
Yeah, through Markelle Fultz.
Wide open.
And
this
then
is
all 5 defenders.
3-level scoring, inside, outside, mid-range. You call it, you got it. That's what Andrew Wiggins provided for his team tonight. His athleticism and his agility really allows him to create some separation between him and his defender, and allows him to make those type of monster moves that you saw tonight. And this is the Andrew Wiggins that the Warriors know and know he's capable of being. And you saw him after the game talking to the guys. He's feeling it too. Of course, only a few games left in the season, but you're happy to see it, especially in these sorts of circumstances where a player like Andrew Wiggins has to come out and support Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, whoever else is going off.
They can come on whatever it needs to come on. If this is the Andrew Wiggins, 10 games left in this one. So without JK tonight, who was out with knee tendonitis, and without Draymond Green, who was ejected after about 4 minutes, not even 4 minutes, it fell on Steph, it fell on Wiggins, Klay Thompson, and then some role players contributed as well. But really nice to see Andrew Wiggins back in that high-scoring column. Point totals lately of 22, 8, 15, 17, and 23 tonight. Let's hear from Steve Kerr at the podium.
Every game's different. I'm kind of amazed that there's this discussion about a handful of minutes, to be honest with you. I mean, so we needed him out there tonight, and we played him, and I try to manage everybody's minutes during the year and give them rest when I can, and I don't know. I just coach the team, so you get to judge.
Guy and Moses, were they in the plans for tonight, or was Draymonds' ejection propelled? Did that propel them come in the game?
Yeah, Guy and Moses were the guys who stepped in for Draymond's minutes there, and Loon was going to play anyway, but he got some extra minutes as well.
You maintain confidence in this group all year despite the ups and downs. Is this the kind of victory that reflects that confidence?
I'm sorry?
You've maintained confidence
throughout
the ups and downs. Is this the kind of victory that reflects the confidence?
Yeah. I mean, we've been close. I mean, we play so many tight games. We're obviously a team that can compete with anybody and can lose to anybody, but it's kind of where the league is these days. Other than a handful of teams that are like Boston, you see, close games. You got a ton of teams in the league going for it. With very few teams that are at the bottom. So there's just a ton of close games. We've lost our share, but we're also winning some, and so we're hoping that we can keep this thing going and close out the season with some more wins like this and put ourselves in a good spot.
All right, that was the back end of Steve Kerr's comments. At the front end, of course, he was asked about Draymond Green, who was ejected from this game less than 4 minutes in. Steve said it was disappointing, he deserved it, but then Steve wanted to move on. And I think I can understand why a coach would want to do that. So Draymond Green's ejection, which was his 4th of the season, didn't overshadow this win here. Let's talk about how disappointing it was that in a very important game, Draymond Green was ejected. Kept going after the ref, kept talking and talking. And you don't know what a ref's threshold is, especially when you first bump into him. So he's already like, okay, back out, back off, and you're out of here. What did you think of that moment?
Kerith, it's exactly what we saw out of Stephen Curry in this moment. You're so exasperated. You have all of the talent in the world in a Draymond Green, and you're seeing him make decisions out of true passion for the game, but also a lack of awareness of how his passion can reach a level that negatively impacts his team. There's got to be a threshold within him in which he realizes, I understand that I'm upset. That call should not have been made, et cetera, et cetera. But I realize I've now touched the ref, which you're not allowed to do per the rules, and I'm still angry. And this ref, I'm not sure what his relationship, how much he knows him, et cetera, or knows his threshold, but I know that I'm Draymond Green. I have a reputation. I have a threshold that has been set for me by the league, the refs, et cetera, because of the history, particularly of this season. And so seeing him exceed that within the first 3-4 minutes of the game, knowing they need these wins at the end of the year, what else can you say? What else can you do? It's exasperating. And the same way that you saw Stephen Curry bend at the hip and just,
He's like, man, yeah.
That's how you feel. Mm-hmm. Because every single person, whether you've played sports before, or you've been even on a corporate team, whatever, you've been on a team before, and you got a superstar. You got someone that you know, every time they show up, you're better. Your team is elevated. Yet, they're late. Or they talk out of turn. Or they do something that ultimately decreases their positive impact and cancels it out. And that's what happens with a Draymond. When you're able to do as well as you do for this team, and then you have moments like that, it's like, come on, bro. Come on, we need you. And you know that, and you know what you can do for us. So yeah, it's exasperation at this point.
All right, fourth ejection of the season. That is a new career high. And you can see the letdown all over Steph's face. That's what I will remember. Yeah. Draymond Green made it harder for his teammates tonight, and that's not really something you forget, especially if there's a pattern there. Okay, with no JK in the lineup either, he was on the injury report. That opened up some minutes for TJD, who took flight in this game. Let's talk about the rookie when we come back on Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by Mancini Sleep World.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by Mancini Sleep World. Visit Mancini Sleep World during our We'll Pay the Sales Tax event. Save big on premium mattresses, plus free delivery. Hurry in now or visit us online at sleepworld.com.
What's so funny back there?
Dan, you better tell us.
I don't know. Are you laughing at memes?
Okay.
We were laughing at memes. Thanks everybody for watching on YouTube. Merlo, Mary, Katrina, Otis. Enter the Draymond is in here. Oh, how are you feeling after this game? Denzel, Andas, D, the usual folks. We appreciate you for tuning in. Great win, Dubs. Enter the Draymond says, I'm not defending Draymond tomorrow. Okay.
I don't
Sometimes
think
it gets
there-
harder.
Yeah, it's incredibly difficult each time it happens because, again, we're all adults. We know what it means to stop or to control ourselves. And that's frustrating.
But like in the video, okay, Draymond made his point. The ref is going this way. Draymond is walking away. That was the moment it should have ended.
Yeah,
But
agreed.
he kept talking. And I don't know what he said. I don't think the camera, I don't know what he said. But it had to be something egregious enough for the referee to point. Because Draymond ended up walking straight into the locker room. Did you see him
No, I
kind of
didn't
curl?
realize
Yeah,
that.
he was like, okay, I know this is happening. And he curled right into the locker room too. There wasn't any like, you got teed up and Draymond taking a step again. Like, what did I do? Nope. Kept walking right into the locker room.
And it was one of those things too. I paid attention to Chris Paul. Because, you know, Chris Paul is a ref talker. He can go up and have a conversation, and he's known for that, right?
Yes.
And you saw Chris Paul be like, no. Like, you saw it escalate, and he was like,
No.
not necessarily, like, you know, kind of trying to, you know, de-escalate. And there was nothing he could do. It was done.
No, it was done.
Yeah.
Okay,
Tough.
fourth ejection. Somebody said the first ejection after his suspension.
Yeah.
It's like, which suspension? Yeah, I don't know. Just even that sentence, his fourth
It's
ejection.
the first one since he's
after
been
he
back.
got,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, wow.
Ooh.
Oop. You okay?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay, you're good.
Thank you.
Yep, you're good.
I forgot which part my part was on.
Yeah, you got it. Yep. All right. Welcome back to Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by Mancini Sleep World. We talked about Steph, we talked about Wiggins. We need to talk about somebody new in the starting lineup tonight. This was an injury decision with no JK. The rookie TJD stepping up in this one. The most minutes he has played all season, more than 30, in fact, landed at 33. A coach can't keep you out there for 33 minutes if you're a rookie, unless you're doing well.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Trey Jackson Davis came off missing that one game with his knee soreness and comes back 33 minutes. I mean, you're going to always have to be ready, but man, ready for 33 minutes is a lot.
Yeah.
But then steps in and does what he does best.
Like that.
14 rebounds, elevates above the rim, 8 points. I mean, we all know he is superb. He's exceptionally talented in terms of rebounding. But something else that he adds to his game is that he is also incredibly patient and poised. Do you all know that out of all the rookies of this year's class, Trey Jackson Davis has played the most amount of minutes and had the least amount of turnovers?
I did not know that.
And also tonight, 0 turnovers, 3 assists. This is what Trey Jackson Davis does best. He sees the game, he's patient, and he's skilled as a post player. He plays so much bigger than 6'8". So he's able to rebound, he's able to elevate, he's able to make sure he gets a block at least a game. Amazing numbers there. but then also being able to say, ooh, let me back out. Let me pass it back out. Let me make sure that I get the ball to somebody that might be able to reset it if I don't feel comfortable. And that level of an aged skill set in a rookie is invaluable, and he showed up tonight.
You impressed me with that stat. That was, Zena's in her bag tonight. One of the things we talked about pregame also was the height difference in this game. The Orlando Magic have 7 players 6'9" or taller. So Trey Jackson Davis, and look, to get 14 rebounds isn't necessarily a height thing either. That's an effort thing.
That's
because
an effort thing, that's right.
Brandon Pajemski coming through with 9. But he had to be tough. He had to be the big man on the floor. Kevon Looney getting 14 points as well. But 33 minutes for Trey Jackson Davis, 14 rebounds, and 0 turnovers in 33 minutes. Have yourself a game, rookie, because Steve Kerr was talking pregame about the fact that you only have to tell TJD something once. He's a very quick study, and there's a lot of trust building up right now to have this rookie play this size of a role.
He's a sponge. He's a spongy big.
Okay.
He just soaks it all in. He's like, okay, you got it.
Yeah, that's right.
I love it about it.
Very encouraging.
Yeah.
All right, Klay Thompson also in the starting lineup. This is the second game. The Warriors going to him after they went to him in Miami as well, where he led the team in scoring. But they just need more spacing. That's something that can help out Steph Curry as well. Klay Thompson's comfortable in his starting role. He played it his entire career. What did you think about Klay's game?
Nothing has changed about Klay's game in terms of whether he's going to be able to produce or not. The thing that was the conversation for a while was, is he better coming off the bench or is he better in the starting position? It's less about if he's coming off the bench or coming in the starting position. It's about how he feels that night. Is he mentally locked in? And also what's happening on the floor at that moment? Do they have players inside that are going to allow him to have the spacing that he needs to be able to come off shots and have that rhythm 3 that we've seen come off so well and be able to get those big time splashes? That's the most important part for Klay's game in terms of his offense. Now, on defense, people talking about Klay's old. People talking about he's got
lost
injuries. He's lost his step. Against some of these incredibly young, talented, fast, athletic players, Klay was keeping right there with them, making some of the biggest defensive plays and also getting some key rebounds tonight for Klay Thompson. And so you see him do the things as well, similar to his brother, Stephen Curry, doing what he needs to do for his team in order to get the win. And tonight, offense was a little slow in comparison, obviously, to his 28 performance at Miami, but that defense stepped up in those gaps for sure.
All right, something about Florida, something about warm weather, something
did
about
say
the
that.
sunshine, something about the beach, the water. Klay Thompson, he showed up to the podium after the Miami game in this flower shirt.
That was so good.
I was wondering what he was wearing tonight, but gosh, we just don't know. All right, so Klay Thompson feeling it in the sunshine. The Warriors continue on to Charlotte next. All right, we're going to talk about Moses Moody stepping into this game. 12 points for Moses Moody. Okay.
Yes.
Stay ready, Moody. What was your nickname?
Stay ready, Moody. He is amazing. He possesses a diverse and another player that has an age skill set, and it's always useful, and it's always impactful. Did you see him break down Ingles? I felt bad for that man. Okay? He stumbled. He thought he had it, and those little hesitation dribbles did exactly what they needed to do. But it's plays like this, being able to get the offensive rebound, and that right there was a key 3 from Klay Thompson. What was it spurred by? A huge offensive board from Moses Moody. So he is someone that, as much as people talk about how professional he is, as much as people talk about how much he has hard work ethic, they got to talk about his basketball IQ too. Okay. He is someone that can score inside and outside, but he's someone that can choose when the right time to do that is. He's also an incredibly mechanical player. Just like we compliment Klay Thompson's shot and his ability to get his feet balanced and set under him and follow through, Moody has the same ability. Sometimes his targeting can be a little off, but he has the same ability of getting up and elevating and have a pure stroke, just like Klay Thompson does. So all of the above for Moses Moody. Incredibly diverse skill set, incredibly impactful of a player. And
I like that Moses didn't get in his head when he was 0 for 4 from 3. So he's not hanging his head. He's really one of those on to the next play type of guys, keeping his hustle up, not really feeling bad for himself in this game. Also have to mention that this back-to-back was good for Moody. He only played 6 minutes versus Miami, 9 points, 3 of 3, 2 for 2. So he connected 2 really good games. Yeah. The Warriors needed him tonight. Also got to notice, we were talking about how this game has so many storylines, but as my eye went down the box score, oh, there's Gary Payton. Oh, he's 5 of 5 from the field.
Yes.
With
yes.
3 steals? Okay.
Gary Payton II. Gary Payton II came in tonight. What was an anomaly with the amount of rebounds he got? But this is what he does. Gary Payton II is pretty much a cornerback out on the basketball field.
Ooh.
He just gets up, he does the things necessary, the hustle plays. And he also had some really good finishes. I mean, 5 for 5 on the court, but then boom, baby! Get that out of here! Do not underestimate him just because he's a little bit smaller.
Okay.
Because that man plays way beyond his size.
Yeah.
And he has the heart of a lion out there. You know, they like to call him a dog. D-A-W-G.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just saying.
No, it's almost unfair sometimes. Like, you see the video, and the video doesn't look quiet, but sometimes he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves.
True. A lot of what he does doesn't show up in the box score.
Yeah.
The deflections that he gets, the hustle plays that he gets, the things that he opens up for his teammates.
Yeah.
Doesn't get put in the box score. And so it's really important to be able to watch the game and see what GP2 does.
Yeah.
If you're not watching the game and you're just commenting on this, you'll never appreciate what he does for the Warriors.
The team sees it. He's one of the most popular guys on the team. He is ruthless out there. He practices like that too, by the way. And he's one of those guys who says, well, iron sharpens iron. I've got to guard Steph Curry all the time. So by the time he's in games, he's like, oh, don't worry, I got this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I got this. All right. All right, when we come back, the Warriors are starting to collect some wins. We need to take a look at the standings. We need to take a look at the schedule ahead as the Warriors took care of business on this back-to-back. This road trip is 5 games in 7 days. Oh, tell him, Steph Curry.
Poor chair.
Hey, Katrina's saying, love to see Looney on the court. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Good to see Moody getting his minutes. You know the funny thing about Moody, not funny, haha, but he will have a span of games that make us say and look directly into the camera. It's like, Moody needs to be in the rotation. And then he's not in the rotation for like 8 to 10 games. And then it's like, okay, but then it's like, oh, Moses Moody needs to be in the rotation. Or he can be in the rotation, we'll put it that way, when he's called upon. Because there are ways that Steve Kerr is going to start tightening things. I believe he only played 9 against the Heat. But it is the time of year where things are going to start to tighten.
Moody has great instincts. And that's what you need. If your game is off, being able to have good instincts, being able to have good anticipation and awareness will always make you useful. You'll always be able to get a deflection, a steal, or something, disrupt things. And that's what he does so well. And it fascinates me that in the games where the Warriors do need spurts, something, he doesn't play. He didn't play against Minnesota. Remember that. Minnesota is a team that could have used him.
Was it a size thing? Was it a speed? Yeah.
He's a long, sizable player, and he's been able to keep himself in front of really tough challenges. I mean, we saw what he was able to do against Jalen Brunson. We've seen what he's been able to do against scorers like that and make their jobs difficult. And so I was shocked that he got no minutes in the Minnesota Timberwolves game, but I am happy every single time he gets on the floor because you always will get something out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put that. Moses Moody will always give you something.
Right.
You said standings first? Welcome back to Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by Mancini Sleep World. All right, taking a look at where the Warriors go next. They are on a plane to Charlotte. So this is where Steph Curry will get to listen to his dad, Dell, on the radio broadcast. Maybe get a little Bojangles. I like the cheddar bow myself. And then they'll wrap things up in San Antonio. Quick game against Dallas at home. But yeah, look at this 2-week span. This is on the road, except for the Mavericks game. Warriors do well on the road. All right, taking a look at the standings right now. The Warriors are now 38 and 34. So they're still hanging on to that 10 spot. Houston behind them. Houston right now is ahead in overtime against OKC. I see a 4-point lead, but I need to refresh. 4-point lead, but I need to refresh my screen to see if that's gone final. Come on, Wi-Fi! It has not gone final, but there you go. The point is, Houston is chasing. The Warriors need every win they can get to make sure they do not fall out of the box, as Melly likes to say. That 7 through 10 just got the word that Houston did indeed win. All right, so Warriors won, Houston won. I think that's 10 straight wins for Houston now, and they still remain one game back. A race to the finish.
It really is, and it is scary to have a team as long and tall as Houston creeping over your shoulder being like, hey, what's up, play-ins?
Oh my
because
gosh.
They're capable and they're feeling themselves. This is the time of year when you pick up momentum, you don't want to lose it. You're feeling yourself. This is what people carry into the playoffs to let them get a lift. And I am very, very excited for Houston, but worried for the Warriors being able to close out. Now, the Warriors have a big challenge in front of them. Before we even talk about Dallas, look who's ahead. Charlotte and the Spurs. These are called must-wins, folks.
I thought you were going to say trap games.
And that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Trap games. These are the ones you have to win. You're supposed to win, but they can trap you into not winning. They can lull you into their style of play. They can lull you into thinking, we're supposed to win. We can take a second off. No. Spurs are also looking to disrupt some seasons. They've been playing really well against top-seeded teams. And Charlotte, listen, they've got nothing to lose.
That's a dangerous team.
And they're trying to make up for the fact that when Steph Curry comes to town, it basically is almost like a home game. So you know they're going to want to show up. The Warriors have to play their standard of basketball regardless.
Okay, so we talked a lot about Steph Curry, Draymond Green in this one as well. I don't think Steph went to the podium, but he probably spoke in the locker room. Take a look to something he said. This is via Anthony Slater. All I'll say is that we need him. He knows that. We all know that. So whatever it takes for him to be on the floor and available, that's what's got to happen. That is a very polite thing for Steph to say, because I feel like his face said everything when Draymond was ejected.
And that's why he had to put it behind his jersey.
He lifted his jersey for a moment, kind of rubbed his head, gathered himself to be like, okay.
I'm doing it. I'm the leader tonight. Let me get my team together.
Okay.
That's what he does.
He will never blast Draymond publicly.
No.
But
he'll never blast any teammate.
But
publicly.
I do think Steph finds a way to be honest without stepping on any landmines. You could tell that he was upset tonight. I mean, that's kind of an obvious thing, but he's not going to throw anybody under the bus. Right. Any of those upset conversations are going to happen behind the scenes.
One of the things about Steph Curry is that he is an incredibly diplomatic player. He's very diplomatic. He chooses his words carefully, and he's very honest behind the scenes and says what needs to be said behind the scenes. But he's also very diplomatic, because what is the point in thrashing your teammate in the public eye, causing distractions? He always wants his core together. And I appreciate that about him and any other teammate that does that, because it's nobody else's business but their own. But Draymond, everyone's watching. The spotlight is on you. You've earned that spotlight. So that is what everyone's going to be looking at. No more questions to Steph, no more questions to Klay, no more questions to Kerr. It's on you. That's what he's got to be thinking about.
You think Draymond will talk about it on his podcast? Draymond says he doesn't duck anything. Would he
say? He does it, and I appreciate that about Doug.
Yeah.
About Draymond. I'm looking forward to seeing if he does address it.
Okay. It was interesting to see the video of Steph walking down the hallway, all the Orlando fans or Warriors fans on the way there, and Draymond was the guy who hugged him right outside. Okay.
He takes
All right.
accountability. We'll see.
Okay. On to the next one. Draymond, hope we see you in Charlotte. All right. Thanks for watching Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by Mancini Sleep World. What I mean by hope we see you is please stay on the floor. Please stay on the floor. Steph, diplomatic. Yes, indeed. Steph, future president.
Diplomat.
I
feel like Aisha's going to be like, no.
No, we don't want that for the fam.
We got too much going on.
No, we don't want that for the fam.
Right. I'm sure she'd be a great first lady, but
yes, she would.
But she's like, come on, baby.
I don't think they want that for the kids.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a little bit too much on the public platform.
Yeah. I wanted to say, like, I'm trying to learn a few things in sign language to help the baby, like helps him communicate.
Yeah.
This is actually good night or night. I think it's just one hand and then you go like this. I'm learning, so if I get this wrong, but I am trying. Yeah. And then I think sleep or like bed is
like
this.
Okay.
Yeah, like
okay.
this. So,
I just
but this is actually like a universal sign for
I'm going to go to Andrew Wiggins and go like this.
More?
Yes.
More?
That's the only one.
More? Okay. All done. Our show's
right,
over.
there you
All
go.
done. Good night, everybody.
Night, guys.